Yeah, welcome back to the Stuff Whatever podcast. Welcome back to the channel. BQuanchi here. Before I get started, I always like to say the best way to support me in the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe, which you can do on YouTube, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and on Twitch. I do stream gaming, and the stream VODs get loaded back to YouTube. Other videos in the works. Also do weekly Let's Play kind of episode 2, upload, whatever you want to call it. So, appreciating feedback, like what games I should check out. Lately, I've been on more of a retro binge or a retro itch, and it seems like it's more successful in a sense in terms of the VODs on YouTube. With small numbers being, very small, it's like hard to really gauge. But who knows? We'll see how things play out. Also been working on some more shorts. The typical thing I've been doing on the channel up there, but a lot of it's the indie demos. I play the indie game demos. Do like a quick impression, like a 1 minute short. And yeah, I've been working on that. And yeah, with this podcast this week, there might be a big difference is that I fixed some microphone issues. So I wanted to talk about that. I want to do like a quick simple how-to video too, so I'll probably do that just to fill in gaps in the channel and all that. But basically, I think it was sometime last year, I got a new laptop. I decided to stick with the HP Omen. And it would jump to Windows 10 to Windows 11. And when I got it, I plugged in my USB microphone. I use a HyperX Quadcast, and there was a huge difference with recording. It was still good, but it seemed like it really suppressed sound, which was good for background noise. Like I could literally have my AC going, it would not catch up on the microphone, or if I had a nearby fan and all that. But the trouble with that is that it felt like it was recording my voice at a lower volume. And one of the most annoying thing is sometimes my voice would cut a little bit. Not too terrible, but then again, I don't have the audience to really give me that feedback or listen. So tested out earlier, and it seems to be doing a lot better now. Because what happens is that, and I fortunately enough, I had a friend I was on Discord with, looked at my settings, and we figured it out that if you go to the advanced setting of the microphone, it has this option where you can check, and it says audio enhancements. And when we turned it off, it was back to normal. And that was weird. I shouldn't have procrastinated so long with it, but I was thinking about is it a HP Omen thing? Is it a Windows thing? Because I heard things about both, and then let me check, because I have my older microphone that was also USB, and I tried that. Yep, same thing. If I clap my hands, it doesn't pick up, or crack open a drink or beverage. So I would have to kind of play around, especially if I'm doing more audio stuff with gameplay and stuff like that too. So hopefully it should sound a lot better. But it's this weird Windows 11 thing with the microphones and issues. Because it seems like it's a good idea. It's kind of nice that it can really prevent background noise to bleeding in. But it did, I feel affect the quality of my voice. Especially not getting consistent volume. I think just how I speak too, that I do have the occasional stutter. I had issues growing up with speech impediments, and my talking ain't so good. It's a bit better. I think even doing this helps in a long way. But I feel if you're really well spoken, have a voice for radio or something like that, a broadcast voice, maybe it's better. But I feels it just overcorrects so much that it's more like a hindrance than a helpful thing. I wish Windows would be more flexible with the setting, because it's just an on and off check mark. But if you can adjust it to a percentage or a dial or stuff like that, maybe it would be better. I'm not sure if there's other programs out there that can work with Windows, because I know that my HyperX has a few manual settings on it for gains or recording patterns and stuff like that. I'll probably do a video. And I'm kicking myself for not even bothering with it sooner, because I thought it was something with the microphone, anything. But yeah, Windows 11, it seems like it does this on default. I also learned you can disable microphones. I'm not sure how good the microphone on my laptop is now that I'm thinking about it, because of this enhanced audio that checkmarked by default. So that's something like I want to do a quick like small separate video. Because like when you try to look for solutions and stuff like that on like Reddit, you like almost get you nowhere and all that. But feeling better. And one of the things I've been really procrastinating on stuff I want to do on a channel, like game reviews and video essays, commentaries of video games. Um, I have to like I almost got finished with one game review for being as lazy as I am. Like, you know what? I have to re-record this with fixing these microphone issues. So yeah, the only thing I really need to do is mess around with OBS and playing it with it on stream. But it seems like a good direction. Again, not that I have an audience that cares. I feel like even with the Twitch past broadcast, the audio sounded fine with the voice. Like it's really something to play around with, like worrying about the game audio over being too loud over the vocal and all that. And usually I bump up the volume when editing the video because even with the stream VODs on YouTube, I just trim like the beginnings and ends so it's a little bit smoother. But then that way I can bump the audio too and add the end card. This is my small tuber kind of this and that things that I do for the channel, but I did listen to this back and see how things go. Like again, I feel like I'm kicking myself in the face or ass or whatever about it, but hopefully this should be a lot better. So if you have Windows 11, have microphone issues, check advanced settings. But I'm likely I'm going to put out that video probably next week, just in case it helps. Not that I'm too much like a tech or how to guy, but it's like one of those I figured this out and I seems like an easy fix, but no one really like finds it online. Although I'm sure there's more complicated issues that could arise, but this seems to be a good sweet spot. So next thing I want to talk about on the podcast is I'm laughing a little bit because my usual complaints about X.com. This one I've been seeing a lot lately too with posts. Usually come like those more gimmick accounts or I would say like news accounts, but it's more like drama news kind of thing and all that. That we see the replies, you see so many replies that are just like not related to the post and even from other gimmicks account too, and blue check marks. I feel like that's almost a bane of existence on Twitter. That's making it a hellscape and all that. Since blue check marks get more visibility, my thing is like there's so many times where it's like literally porn that's in the replies, where they're showing nudity or actual like video. A lot of times you see like pics of like whatever women who like wearing a G-string or bra or like pulling a shirt up to like pretty much show you everything without actually showing technically nudity and all that. I'm not even sure if those are like the actual individuals or if they're people promoting OnlyFans and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's like basically porn on X. Although that's always been around. I see like profiles with like no 18 under 18 not safe for work. So especially like as artists too, like even the furry art stuff, like yeah, there's a place for it. There's accounts that that's their thing. But I feel like if they're gonna like shove it in people's faces by replying to posts, and I feel like I almost want to say it's like bots, but maybe it's more spam because I can't think like an actual like automated thing doing this versus someone trying to like spam things or get clicks on a website with it. They're actually like a model for like OnlyFans or other websites, or if you're just like just getting clicks or whatever, or I don't know, it seems really gross. But I'm a gay guy, so I think all like women nudity is gross by default, all that. But one of the messed up things about that is you almost forget that the minimum age for having an X or Twitter account is 13. So basically, this is like exposing underage people to porn. I know there's been things in the past. I know I'm not sure if the bill that passed or introduced. I'm not sure if it implemented. I think it was in Utah about porn sites and stuff like that. I know that there's like enforcing like, or the idea is to enforce like they have to scan or send a picture of the driver's license to prove. You know, Pornhub did a big like backlash response or like anti-response to that. But it's crazy. Like I feel like it just existed more of a dumpster fire. And again, we're talking about like Twitter too, ever since Elon bought it. But it just seems gross, and it goes from gross to annoying with these like replies. Of course, it's like these posts are meant for engagement, but then again, it's like you scroll down and like, oh, I don't want to see like practically nude, if not nude women, when looking at a gimmicky post on X. So it's been a huge trash pit on fire. And one thing, the sites complain about X, they used to have this analytics things, which I kind of enjoyed. I just like looking at numbers and stuff like that too. Actually, like how many impressions you made, new followers, like top media posts, top tweet, stuff like that. For that past couple like months, almost like since it was changed to X, it kind of like was not working, and we get like very very rough overall numbers, but it didn't work as well as it used to. I'm not sure if there's another thing, but with analytics, and now it's like I can't even find it. Like there's like a menu that goes like to like studio options or like whatever. So maybe they moved it or just got rid of it, which is annoying. It's no big deal since I'm not sure if it's like locked behind the paywall with Twitter X Premium. I was going to say Twitter Blue, but it's technically X Premium to do that, because that's more also focused about engagements, ads, revenue, and all that. I guess my typical complaints about X. And next thing I wanted to talk about is news about Pokimane leaving Twitch. And I don't really care too much about Pokimane, although I do kind of speak about her in past podcasts that no one really listened to. I think it's interesting because you think of her like one of the bigger Twitch streamers, content creators, and all that. And yeah, it seems like, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that she's going to YouTube, which would probably be the best alternative. Some people were speculating that she was going to Kick. I think Kick even made like a shit post about it. But it'd be really ironic or really like hypocritical, because negative things she said about Kick, especially with the gambling and all that. So I would say that's definitely the smarter move, to go to YouTube. I wonder like what that entails too when you're switching platforms for streaming, because I know like some of the big thing is like when you amass that following, especially paid subscribers and all that, it just feels like you're a chance to drop that. But I think she has enough following that they're going to migrate over, but I'm not sure if it's going to be mass migration or things going to decrease, although she does have a dumb cookies to fill in the gaps of revenue and all that. But I'm not sure with Twitch, like if you end Twitch, like does it cancel all the subscriptions? Or I'm not even sure how Twitch subs work. Like do you have to manually approve them each month to month? There's like a recurring automatic charge that, because I'll be pissed off if I didn't realize that. But then again, you probably have to be chronically using Twitch all the time to realize, oh, my stream I follow is no longer streaming, so I don't need my subscription and all that. And YouTube, I don't know, it runs pretty similar in terms of revenue and all that, as in terms of like getting super chats. I'm not sure if supers are a lot more easier to manage versus like donations on Twitch, because I always felt like I got donations. I don't know from experience, but it seems like you use like a link with Streamlabs or OBS or something like that. And then get you alerts. I think maybe YouTube is a little bit more streamlined, just all in one place in terms of ad revenue, but super chats and donation revenue. And also they have the members thing, is pretty much the equivalent of Twitch subs and all that. Although Twitch did have the free subscription if you have Prime, which I know Prime increased a little bit. I'm not sure of all the details. I think maybe that's just more for the video streaming stuff. But since you can't get that free sub, I think even the CEO was even thinking like saying something about like keep the Prime subs like their kind of importance with their model. But thinking like these, I think I mentioned last week that they like haven't made a profit in a long time and all that. And I think a lot of times it's like they don't really know what they're doing, although they do make a crap ton of money, just like I'm not sure where it goes to, or if it mismanages, like overpaying higher ups or all that. But one thing, I don't know with YouTube Live as much, but I'm not sure if you can gift memberships, because you can know as subs and it almost feels like it's random, because I got like 1 or 2 gift subs before, and I don't use Twitch too much as a viewer. I'm not sure if that affects with YouTube. Like, is that going to be a big downside is that you may not get as much revenue since you can't really gift members. I'm not sure if even like membership, if that's a constant thing or if you have to manually approve it each month. Because I can imagine people like leaving it on and not realize they're being charged monthly for it. All that. The one thing I've been tempted to kind of use YouTube for streaming or at least play around with it. I just like kind of like eggs in different baskets, especially since I put the VODs on the YouTube channel in the first place. But I have to see. One thing I think is a lot more convenient with YouTube is that it saves the what you want to call it, the broadcast live versus Twitch. I think depends on if your affiliate partner lasts longer, but eventually get removed and all that. But that's kind of like my 2 cents. I don't know too much about it, but just kind of like thinking if it's a good, smart move to a different platform. But if it's going to be anything besides Twitch, I definitely agree that YouTube would be the place to go. So next thing I want to talk about are those Stanley Cups, which have been all the fad lately and all that. And probably won't have too much to add to the conversation besides just like my 2 cents. It's like crazy how they became so crazy popular and all that. Because I know that's like, I think the big thing that made them popular is that TikTok of a woman's car being on fire, but inside her Stanley Cup was still good. And even the drink still had this ice in it. And I think it was a good pull bit. This is a move that I think it was Stanley, the company, bought her a new car. But one of it seems like it's one of those weird things like Beanie Babies back in the day or whatever, like Funko Pops or this and that. Like people get too crazy with like collecting them, or it's just more like a trend. Because I heard that even one story about a woman's daughter in school got bullied because she didn't have one, like she had a off-brand one, and I don't know, that seems really stupid. Even I don't know the word to say for it. It's like it's annoying and even pathetic and superficial and all that. They're like, oh, I have a Stanley Cup, and I know there was the ones with the Target and Starbucks that had like the pink ones that were all the rage, but there was like people camping out. They had 2 per customer and stuff like that. I haven't seen like a video of a guy trying to steal like a box of them, but he got like stopped by a bunch of the customers and stuff. I think he was able to get away with like one before running from the store. I'm not sure what happened to it. I haven't seen a story of like a woman stealing $2,500 worth of Stanley Cups and tumblers. I know this is the main one. That's the big like cup with the handle, but they like do other stuff too. It just seems like crazy. Like I think one of the things is people trying to resell them for hundreds of dollars, and like the price is like $45 or something. But I think people are trying to hoard them or like resell them and all that. But here's the funny thing about them, because I saw some news that it's been confirmed they actually use lead to make the Stanley Cups, and it ain't that good. I know there's a lot of safety concerns with lead and products. Like I know like lead-based paint. I think even back in the day, I'm not sure if it was McDonald's or Burger King that they use lead-based paint for the collectible cups for like Shrek or something, whatever movie it was at the time. Yeah, lead's not too good, especially when it comes to consuming things. Because I think someone like posted a picture of like how the inside was scratched up a little bit, maybe from wear and tear over time, and like saying about possibly being sick. And then there was, I haven't researched that much. Others can probably say better than me. But it seems like maybe using lead isn't the most practical thing, especially with safety. Of course, the company said, yeah, a safety use, because like in the bottom and all that. But I'm not sure if like any wear and tear like from the middle of the cup, like if it's scratched with a straw. I'm not sure because I never even held a Stanley Cup. But it just seems like, stay away from lead. I wonder if people would have realized if they had lead in the cup in the first place, that they would still buy it. Or it's like, oh, it's no popular, I don't care anyways. But I had the criticism that they could have just used aluminum, which seems to be pretty effective and safe alternative. I'm not sure if like having like thicker layers of aluminum would be a better insulator. Because the big thing is like, hey, you want to keep your drink cold and all that, or warm. I forget. I always think about like cold drinks with that TikTok that went viral. So I think that's the thing. It's like hey, you might get lead poisoning with your Stanley Cup. So it's like, oh, yeah, it just kind of brings more craziness to this stupid fad. Like, it's neat, I guess, but why do you need like a giant cup all the time? I've been seeing like the jokes, like posts, and like they use a garbage can and like a makeshift handle, like all the little comedic jokes on TikTok or Twitter and all that. So it's just crazy in the first place to see something this popular. But even going back to that one story of like the guy who was trying to steal a bunch of them, like got like stopped by customers and like this whole street justice thing. And it seems weird because you see like stories or videos or whatever, like people like on public transportation or on the bus, like getting harassed, even maybe even assaulted and stuff like that, and people like stay out of it, like, oh, let them figure it out, like, oh, I'm not touching that shit. When it comes to like even messing people, like someone getting mugged or theft and all that, it's like, no, don't bother. But when it comes to a Stanley Cup from Starbucks in a Target store, like they all are like, yeah, get him, take him down. And that's, so it's kind of weird to see like these difference of value of like stopping someone from doing something bad from stealing like if someone's purse versus stealing a Stanley Cup from a big corporation. I think it's mostly because they can't have it. I think that's the thing too, but also very different environments of a Starbucks Target store versus public transportation. But yeah, just don't be a dick, but it's just kind of weird to like look at the world and see these events unfold. The next thing I want to talk about on this week's podcast is kind of my lack of a dating life, but kind of more of this kind of the weirdness when it comes to some of the apps. I don't know the gay ones. I don't want to like name drop them. I always feel weird about that since I am putting this online. But some like weird stuff I noticed with one of them. I'm not sure if like just straight ones are the same way. We have like the grids of people based off distance and stuff like that. And a lot of times gays, the gay ones have like faceless pics. I'm not sure if it's like being closeted or on a DL and stuff like that. But I don't know, this might be good to talk about just because I think it's some like red flags. And I've been really like not having a date for a very, very long time. And I think a lot of it's for me just like overthinking. I think a good amount of like insecurities and even depression, if I'm honest. And we're like, I know a lot of people like more like the hookup stuff, which I'm kind of over it, but kind of overthink things when it comes to compatibility or like if I'm good enough for somebody physically, mentally. I don't know, all that stuff. I can go on and on about how insecure I am. A lot of times I feel like I'm confident, like, I don't know. It's just like, weird when it comes to like that level of thing, like actually having somewhat of a dating possibility. I just kind of like almost sell myself short every time. But I just want to mention some instances because these are also kind of like red flags that might be good to know. This one time I got this weird message like said, hey, and they sent me an address and they say, hi, I forget the name, but the weird thing about it is that the profile already had a name. Because a lot of times people can make whatever name they want. Like a lot of times like a nickname or what they're looking for, like top or bottom or whatever daddy or whatever thing. So you can make like a cute, I think cute, but it's more of a mature thing. But a lot of people use the like just the first name or use like a little handle and stuff like that. But the profile of this one actually used a typical first name. So then it was weird that his message like, hi, I'm this name, which is completely different. So like, why does your profile have a completely different name if it seems like they're meant to be your first name? And then like, it was really creepy just seeing an address. Like, I don't know if it meant like, because it's just like, hey, come over or anything. It is like, hi, address, I'm this, like maybe waiting for me to respond back. But I don't know if you wanted me to go there and, you know, hook up. But I think that's a red flag if someone's going to drop their address and all that. So weird, especially since the profile is pickless, no face pic, no any kind of pic like that. And I remember getting this one message a while back. It's a real person. I always get weird. I think as I get older, I'd rather be more paranoid and careful uh, which kind of, I don't know, I don't want to seem like I'm a scaredy cat about everything. But like, so I guess it was kind of weird, like friend message, like maybe some signs of desperation, but then they put the phone number, and I get that, typically exchange numbers on those uh, apps and stuff like that. Since it's kind of like it's almost like a text message based system inbox for profiles and users and stuff like that. But I'm at the age like I don't like give my phone number out. So even with those apps, like unless we meet in person and I like them enough, they're not getting my digits, not getting my phone number, and I think that's a good way to go about it because it's easy to block profiles from these accounts, but if someone actually have your phone number, that comes to be like more harder ordeal. Again, you can like block numbers from calling your phone, but then what did they write down your number or keep your number and get different phones or give out your number in different ways to get like spam or telemarketers or this and that. So I feel like my phone number is kind of like more important than just give it out to someone like we might have interest, we might hook up, we might date. But I'm going to say, yeah, I'll use the app for communications until things develop further because I don't want my number compromised or anything like that. And yeah, it's just easy to block a profile than deal with someone having your actual real number, your real phone number. I think that's helps to get less of the spam calls and text messages and stuff like that. And yeah, it's kind of like better safe than sorry. And it's going to be the argument like, what if you meet up, but then there's an issue with the app and they couldn't contact you, and like maybe that's a sign. Yeah, so I think that's a good piece of wisdom, even though maybe it's a little bit on the paranoia side or overly cautious side. But like, I don't get my digits until I met you face to face, and I like you enough to do so. This one kind of funny pic message I got. It's from a faceless pic profile and all that. And I have a thing I put in mind, like I do not respond to any faceless profile pics. But this person sent me a message. Like a lot of times, I guess guys will just send you a pic message. You're like, hey, this is what I look like. Like I'm not gonna have it publicly, or at least in the app publicly. But here, what it look like. And the only thing that's worth mentioning is that he's on a toilet, but he's literally physically standing on a toilet, taking a picture through a mirror, and all that. And it's like, was the goal to get a full body shot? Like, I don't need to know what you look like head to toe. Like, you can do whatever selfie, but I don't care in the first place because I don't respond to faceless profile. Not that he cared, but I just thought the idea of taking a selfie through a bathroom mirror and standing on a toilet just to make sure head to toe you're all in frame, which is like the weirdest thing. It's almost comical, but I thought that was kind of funny. I even saw this. It's kind of weird. There was like a bunch of faceless profiles on what the grid. Like, again, I don't know what straight apps are, but they use like a grid of nearby people. But someone had like 8 profile. I'm pretty sure it's the same person because as I look at them, they had like the same distance from me, and they had the same age and kind of like a similar name. Structure pattern with a first name and some whatever thing with it, like numbers or something like that. So blocked, reported. It's annoying because even then I get a lot of like spam messages too, or like you see profiles like look at you and maybe it's probably not even that person, but it's like a really attractive person, and it's like a link to like, here's my nude pics, here's my sexy pics, so hey, join this site, stuff like that. So it's like weird. One of these apps are a lot worse with it, but it's like, God, when it comes to this like spam to like hookup apps or dating apps, even though I'm not too much on the hookup part, it gets fairly annoying and all that. So the last thing I want to do for this podcast is bringing back the whatever report. So this random news would be a good way to kind of fill up the last few minutes of this. I don't know, sometimes I get tempted to like do just straight videos of this on a weekly basis, but I don't know. I have to get the feedback to really decide. But it's like some random weird news and all that. So this first news story has to do with kind of like restricting traffic stops. And this is in Illinois, but it's getting some pushback. But the bill would include stuff like not pulling over drivers for expired registration, uh, not following general speed limits, having tinted windows, not wearing a seatbelt, improper lane change. It's like there would be exception, like if it qualifies as a misdemeanor or a felony. It even says it can be stopped for like vehicle lamp requirements, excessive exhaust, or defective mirrors, windshield, and stuff like that. I know it gets annoying to like get pulled over by meaningless stuff. I saw a link to this article and it said like something about like going 20 miles over the speed limit, which seems excessive, but maybe that's when it plays like if it's a misdemeanor if it's over 20. Maybe that's the thing. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about these, which I get like stop reducing traffic stops for minor stuff, but I guess these things are important. Like, and not to like support like the bigger people involved, but like with vehicle registration, even though that's a pain, but money goes to somewhere, and I don't know. But if we all had to pay it, I'll be annoyed if someone else neglects. So I think that would be important. And speed limit's definitely important. I definitely agree if it's like 5, 10, 15. I think when you hit 20, that's definitely like, hey, yo, you. I think that's when I don't would be like, okay, maybe you do deserve a speeding ticket as much as, and like seatbelts. I'm not sure if you can get charged a ticket for that. So some of these things, I hear like the cracked windshield, like somebody you even get fined for, or seatbelt. But if it's waste someone's time, then if I'm constantly getting pulled over. But then again, a seatbelt is kind of hard to really tell. Like, how's a cop going to know you're not wearing a seatbelt, and all that? Unless they like stopped for like registration thing and all that. So I'm not sure if it's going to get that much support. There's a thing I can see good about that with like traffic stops, especially if they're unnecessary or they don't really much. There's more of the valuable things police can do with at times in terms of enforcing the law and protecting the public and all that. But I thought it was an interesting one. This next story takes place in Manchester, and a woman was rescued from a trash truck. And it's kind of crazy. Apparently, this older woman fell into her bin when putting out the garbage, and I guess the driver realized I guess they have cameras inside the vehicle, like the whole bin, the giant bin in the garbage truck, and noticed her. And yeah, luckily, she was saved just fine and all that. I saw a link to this saying it was like the fourth time, but reading through the article, I'm not seeing that. It is kind of a crazy. They said that he had minor injuries, but expected to be okay. But yeah, just imagine like falling to a garbage can and you can't get out, and all of a sudden the garbage. It sounds like something from a cartoon or a sitcom, but I thought that was kind of a funny story. And next, it's kind of a small, stupid thing, but I'm not sure if I ever seen these before, if they're new. Because I do like Reese's peanut butter cups. It's definitely a favorite candy, especially the Easter one, the Easter eggs, and then the Christmas has the Christmas trees and pumpkins for Halloween. I didn't realize they do hearts for Valentine's Day. I guess they use like a pink colored chocolate, like a pink cream or whatever. So they're like pink hearts, but they kind of a long shape. And if you turn them upside down, these long pink shapes that are kind of heart shaped look like testicles. That's kind of funny. It's good. I'm gonna eat it, and a nutsack is a nutsack. So a peanut sack, as they would say. I'm just gonna get it just to see it up close, but there's really good pictures of it. But like, look at these pink heart Reese's peanut butter cups, and they definitely don't look like hearts. I think they could have like just because like the Easter egg, the Christmas tree, the pumpkin have that longer shape packaging, and they would have like squished it maybe more so like the actual cup size, like the traditional peanut butter cup. They could have made a more like traditional heart shape. But it almost like looks like the peanut butter Easter eggs, but then kind of morph it a little bit. Try to make it look like a heart, but it looks like a nutsack. So, yep, that's out there in the world. And speaking of chocolate in the holidays, this one definitely seems interesting. The story is that Costco is actually selling these giant chocolate bunnies. They are apparently 2 feet tall. And cost $63. So I'm not sure how many pounds of chocolate it says 3.5 kilograms, so times 2.2. I can't do the exact math. Usually when I convert, I usually just do times 2 and kind of guesstimate. So that's a little over 7 pounds, almost 8 pounds of chocolate. So I guess that makes sense, but I'm not sure if it's a. I'm not sure the article right because it says weighs 4.4 pounds, but I'm looking at the packaging too. So maybe the packaging, because the packaging says 3.5, but the article says like 4.4 pounds. Like maybe they can't convert or whatever. But I don't know if that's bad math or whatever. But it's uh, definitely interesting. I'm like looking at this article and seeing like TikToks of these giant bunnies. Even though I don't have a Costco membership, so I probably won't be getting one, but definitely looks interesting. It's kind of like a fun show. I think there's a huge giant novelty too that just makes it seem so cool. And next story, a teen faces charges for allegedly taping fish to ATMs, and this is in Porvo. The article says in Salt Lake City. I'm not sure if that's the news, but I guess it's been going around a little bit that this guy's been taping fish to like ATMs and other things, and posted it on Instagram. I think one of the things that got the fish underscore bandit 84 is the Instagram account. I'm not sure if that's still active. Let me see. The article has a link, so let me see. Oh, it still looks active. A lot of it's videos, so it seems like there's not too many posts. Yeah, there's not too many. Like there's 14 posts, really, not much. But I think he also like taped it on police cars and stuff like that. That definitely cause issues and all that. Like on bathroom stalls, in the back of bathroom stalls, and even putting like cigarettes in the fish's mouth. I just think this is kind of like a stupid thing, but I'm not sure how popular it got. Let me just look. 104,000 followers on Instagram. They're getting likes. Like the most recent one has over 384,000 likes, and wow, like I think the recent one just it's a huge difference with like the older posts compared to like the most recent one. So maybe it's like one of those crazy like okay, people are doing this, and all that. But it seems like the description on his profile is more about taping them to ATMs. But it's just kind of a weird story. And this last story is a Florida man story. It happened in a Walmart. And this guy found a lost cell phone in a Walmart bathroom, so he decided to call it a fake bomb threat. It said something like seeing TikTok videos similar to that. So he kind of like decided to make one himself. And the police like called back and he just answered the phone saying TikTok, TikTok. I'm not sure if that meant like ticking down time or just the TikTok, the platform, and hanging up. But surveillance camera caught him and all that. He's 28 years old. That's a little old to be obsessed with TikTok trends, but all that. Actually, I really think he was claiming he's watched people on TikTok making fake bomb threats, and I can see people pretending to do that for TikToks, like not actually calling or all that. But she's like, don't do bomb threats. Don't be a menace to society and stuff like that. I'm not sure if the phone got returned to the person that it belonged to. Yeah, but yeah, you can definitely be charged for false reporting, especially with a bomb threat or weapons of mass destruction. It's just a second-degree felony. And he released county jail on a $15,000 bond. That's really crazy, like how people get out on bond or whatever. But just stupid people being stupid. But that will do it for this week's podcast. A little bit longer because I want to do that whatever report funny news. But I might take a break. Mostly was encouraged to test out the new mic setup. So hopefully things would be much better on the channel and all that. So I appreciate any like, follow, and subscribes and all that. Links are always in the descriptions or about on the channel, this and that. But that will do it for this week. So y'all take care and have a good rest of your day. Bye.